how do I go from where I'm at now, feeling quite low about myself, possibly, to being great? Great. Is there any advice you could suggest to them, like training a muscle, like almost okay, let's not jump from here to great. Is there any way you can do like bite-sized pieces, like today I'm going to just achieve this amount and then it's more than I achieved in the last week? Is there any way they can give themselves this positivity and then work on it each day? Yesterday I done this. Is there any trained sort of technique people can do?
Absolutely, absolutely. Every training is a progression. The physical training is a progression, and the mental training is a progression as well. And so the way you do it, firstly, you need to make a decision to change. And it has to be a decision. It has to be clear before and after. You have to commit to it. And many people are scared of that commitment. This is why they never achieve anything. Because if you dabble with things, nothing ever happens. All the great achievements, all the great warriors, great heroes, great businessmen started with a commitment to make it happen. So make that commitment to yourself. Create a project called, Joe version 0.2 and commit yourself to make this project a success. And the first step, I would say, start with your priorities. So analyze what are your priorities right now. Write them down. Not just think of them in your head, it doesn't work. Write them down on a piece of paper, on your laptop, doesn't matter. But have them written down and see what those priorities do in your life.
Priorities like what sort of, could you give us an example, like say?
Okay, so priorities is actually a very interesting thing because your life always reflects your priorities.
Or revolves around people's priorities, like going back to the guy whose priority is being the best gamer in the world.
Yes.
Right.
But it goes more than that, because that guy's real priority could be recognition through that game. So a priority is something that you create your life in alignment with. So essentially it is a blueprint, is a matrix for your life, and then you just fill in the gaps. But the form is there, decided by your priorities. And so, for example, you can easily tell what your priorities are. Just look at what you have in abundance in your life right now. So whatever is in abundance, as you know, where energy goes, where attention goes, energy flows. So whatever is in abundance in your life, it means that it's your current priority. And many people say, oh, I don't have enough money and I really want to make money. Well, if it's not your priority, you will never succeed. Because, for example, if you look around and you see you have a fantastic family life, then it means that it's your priority, because you will always find a way to satisfy it. You will always find a way to bring it to fruition. And for example, my priorities are teaching and learning. And you can see this is like, I don't know, 1/10 of all the books that I have, because I want to educate myself. My priority is meditating. So I meditate every day and I never fail to do that. So whatever is your priority, you will have plenty of it in your life. And simply look around you. See what objects do you surround yourself with? What things do you do the most often? What things do you spend your money on the most often? Because we spend, obviously, if it's a priority, we want to invest in it. So let's say if a person wants to educate themselves, they will invest in courses. So that's their priorities. You're always rich in whatever your priorities are.
So what would you say for the person who's in a job, they're unhappy with their work, they've grown unhappy with it, or they've got ideas of a different career, and they would hear this and they would think, how do I create my new priorities around this new, life choice, career
Absolutely.
choice? How would they bring these new priorities, which they love and no one can tell them not to do? How can they become and bring these new passionate priorities into their life?
So first thing, realize what your true priorities are. Not what you're telling yourself, but what you actually have as your priorities. So these are the things that you spend your money on, you spend time thinking about the most often, you talk about the most often. Like, every time someone talks to you, like, okay, so Anyway, and now about boxing.
Yeah.
With me, it's like meditation. So what do you talk about the most often? What do you think about the most often? What objects do you surround yourself with? And what kind of things you spend your money on? So after having mapped your current priorities, your true priorities, then think of what kind of priorities you would need. Now, it's the fun part, it's the designing part. Now you're designing that new self. So think of what you would like to achieve in life. Even roughly, you don't need to think of all the details. Think of what you want to achieve in life. And then what kind of person would it take to achieve? So what kind of person, don't think about yourself at this stage. Just imagine a hypothetical person that would be able to achieve those goals. What kind of personality, what kind of features, what kind of characteristics, and what kind of priorities they would need to make it happen. Write them down. And obviously, these are the priorities that you need. These are the features that you need. So start thinking then what kind of benefits you would achieve with implementing those priorities. Because for the brain, it's not enough to just say, oh, let me let me switch my priorities. So today my priorities is playing computer games and eating crisps, but tomorrow my priorities is all about healthy lifestyle and making a lot of money. It doesn't happen just like that.
It's a bit of a jump.
Yeah, but what allows your mind to make that switch is you have to think of a list of at least 20 benefits of having those priorities. So take a priority. Let's say you want to be healthy, and ask yourself why. So start with at least 20. If you can do more, do more. And you mustn't do a generic thing saying, oh yeah, it's because everyone says so. Really think what it means to you personally. Well, if you're healthy, then you can do what you love. You can travel, you can work on the projects that interest you and not being crippled by any disabilities or slowed down by any physical illnesses. You can live longer and see your kids grow up and living their lives and participating in their lives. So all these things, that why is it valuable to you personally, write them down and really feel every single one of them, really meditate on them. And once you've done that, it will become clearer that you have to do it. And as I said to you earlier, what is in the forefront of your mind, the thing that you keep thinking about, your brain labels it as a target to go for. Yes, so if you keep thinking about those priorities, and if you keep telling yourself why it is important for you to achieve them, and find genuine, heartfelt reasons for it, then it doesn't take a lot of practice until your mind will accept those new priorities, and you will start being naturally drawn towards them. Rather than forcing yourself to do them, you will start being drawn towards them just as you were drawn towards the wrong things before. You don't have to be disciplined to do them. It's because it's a part of your nature. You can't not do that. Like if you're a writer and you know you're a writer, you can't not write. If you're a singer, you can't not sing. If you know that you're really good at making money, you can't stop yourself from doing that. Wherever you go, like whatever you touch turns into gold. So create an identity with the priorities that you need, design it consciously, abandon the fake idea of yourself created by other people and imposed on you, and start designing your new creative self, the self that you want to live through in this world. So this is how you do it. This is the first step. And once you've done that, so you need your commitment, you need your priorities right, and you need to start consciously executing that. Because if you don't execute, just thinking about something is not enough. So start acting on these new priorities, even if it feels a bit weird to begin with, because you're like,
this isn't me. This isn't what I'm used to.
Yeah, exactly. But it's all right. This is how we grow. Because, if you've always done what you always do, you will
always get what you always, yeah.
Exactly. And if you would like to discover what your life purpose is, align with it, and start serving the world greatly, you can find a free guide on my website ariyacreed.org. Head over and download your free guide right now. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Are you filming?
I am. Do some of that Darren Brown stuff, you know, the mind trick stuff, and it gets them all to sign up, everyone who watches it. That's what you need.
You want to sign up to my website. You saw this actually happening in real life?
Yeah.
Yeah.